Hello, and welcome to the web-based learning system for plastic, how to refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle. This web-based learning system was created by Team Rock Ed, and we wanted to create something that was more than just K through 12. So we thought this topic was relevant and useful and needed, and we happened to have a master recycler in the group, so it just kind of worked out that this was the topic that we were going to use to build our web-based learning system. So we thought it was perfect for grade 12 in the topic of environmental science because these students are on their way out into the real world and are going to have to start making decisions about the purchases they make and whether or not they choose to, you know, refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle in order to reduce their carbon footprint and also, to make these choices that may affect other things in the world. So we did have some other ideas that we considered for higher ed and corporate education, but we ultimately landed on this topic because we were all interested in it and we thought that it would be fun, and we're really happy with the way that it turned out. We think that it supports teaching and learning through lots of different ways. Um, we are sure that for teaching, it's a tool that can be used in and out of the classroom, so teachers can use it as a lesson, to go along, with what they're teaching in the classroom. And it can also be, used as a supplemental tool for students outside the classroom and then above and beyond the classroom, such as um, at groups, advocates for recycling, for saving the planet, things like that. Um, Something you could take at the library or at a festival, where they have a booth set up or something like that. Something that you could go through and really get some good information. So we thought that it was a flexible tool as content changes, as we learn um, new things about recycling and reducing and reusing, it can be updated easily. And it's also broken down into modules, which allows for organization and the ability to really hone in on specific topics and information that are really important and relevant during that time. It collects the data for you. So since you're using a Google Sites platform, you can integrate other Google tools easily, such as Forms um, and Docs, in order to collect data for helping with learning. And it helps with using different modalities. So when you have students who are looking to read, looking to listen, looking to view something, looking to have a hands-on experience, then you're able to help all those students that may be involved. For the design ideas, meeting the needs assessments, we thought that this was a hot topic issue that affects lots of different aspects, like I mentioned before, and it allows students to work independently as well as self-paced. So if they need to, work at a slower pace, a faster pace, whichever it allows for that. And it also allows for collaboration. It's a platform for advocating change. So the students can use the discussion boards to share their ideas and really turn those ideas into something, more than just, words in the discussion boards, but they can build something together. They can advocate for change and really make a real life difference, at this point. So when we look at the process and the progress of our design, we wanted to use something that was familiar to a lot of people, such as the Google Sites. And since this Google platform does make it easy to integrate forums, docs, embed YouTube videos, and things like that, we felt that it was a perfect way to start, you know, with the web-based learning system. We kept the color scheme neutral so that it would complement earth tones. We thought those went hand in hand, and we wanted to streamline the content and the activities so that there were no surprises. Everything follows a basic format. You knew what was going to come up next. Um, and with the use of a lot of white space, we didn't want to overwhelm the user. We wanted them to be able to take in the information, but not so much that it was overwhelming and they really didn't want to participate or even know what to focus in on. So I've kind of been going through some of the pages here as I've been talking about the site, but we can jump back to the home page up here in the top menu, and it gives us our information and course overview, course objectives, the responsibilities of the learner, and then just some graphics to really pull the user in and make them more interested in learning about the topic and getting into more of the content. So at the top here, we created this adorable logo that reiterates the 4 R's and a little bit of cuteness. And then our top menu here allows the user to go through the 4 different units. Each one has a drop down menu containing 4 different lessons, an assessment, and a discussion board. Then down here we have a link to go straight to the discussions and a link for help tutorials that help with things like navigating the sites, um, or working with a Padlet, some things that people may have never worked with before. So if we go back to the home page, then you'll see that once you scroll down to the bottom, you come to a button that then takes you to the next page. And it just goes consecutively where each unit tells you the objective and an overview and then takes you to the first lesson. So once you get into the first lesson, you have the objective. You typically have a definition or some information about the topic, some graphics, and a test, a quiz, some sort of activity such as a Padlet, um, or a Google form, a matching game, things like that that are embedded into the site. So let's go to the next one. Let's see what's there. So, or some information. There may be some outside tools that are available to use, things like that. So we'll jump here to Unit 2. And then as you can see, it follows the same model, unit objective, unit overview, and then takes you to the first lesson. And then you can see as it follows the same model, graphics, excuse me, information, and then anything that wasn't able to be embedded will show up as a button that will take you to an external link. But we did as much as we could to embed into the site so that everything is contained within the site and easily accessible in that way so that you're not having to jump back and forth between external tabs and the site itself. Okay, so here we have one of the activities. It's just a simple matching game. Um, embedded right. Oh, there we got one, right into the site. So as far as functionality, it flows pretty well. It seems pretty intuitive, easy to navigate, things like that. So then that takes us into our experience with and our reflection about um, our feedback from our experts and our users and our peers, as well as the individuals within our groups. So, in building, we're able to see the perspectives from within the group. But then once we put it up on the discussion board to share with our peers, then we were able to get that outside perspective, looking in and saying, oh, I noticed this, or I really like this, and what's working. But then when we talk to expert users and student users who have the specific and the content experts who have the specific task of looking at specific things within the site, was when we were really able to find, oh, we need to change this, or oh, this would be a better way of doing it. And that in combination, I think really made for a really nice finished project. So I really appreciate you taking the time to check out our web-based learning system on plastic, how to refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle. And we hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed creating it.